So political change can obviously come from the ballot box, and sometimes it rises from the streets. As Toronto reels from a series of cyclist and pedestrian deaths, today's call for change was impossible to miss. Here's Jacqueline Hansen.
Dozens of cyclists gather to ride in honor of one. Aaron Rankine Wright was struck by an SUV last week. Police say he was targeted. Still, other cyclists here feel Toronto's streets put them all at risk.
It's really unsettling, and people are frightened. I'm frightened.
I'm a big risk taker, but it seems like it's not even worth it.
Aaron was one of my neighbors. He was 19, and my son is 20. The streets aren't safe. They're not safe for children. They're not safe for mums. We got to do something.
The teen is one of 3 cyclists who died this month after being struck on Toronto streets. And just last week, a pedestrian was killed in a hit and run.
I feel that something has changed in the air. Drivers seem to have a less respect for cyclists and pedestrians right now than I can remember.
Canada's busiest urban centre has a plan to reduce traffic-related deaths to 0. But these 3 deaths in such quick succession seem to highlight that the city's goal is still far off. On Friday, Toronto's mayor said he would push for an additional $13 million to try to make it happen.
I've been horrified by the continued rise in deaths involving pedestrians and cyclists being hit by cars and trucks. And in the past few days, we've once again seen how dangerous and deadly our streets can be.
It's not hard for urban planner Brad Bradford to find an intersection he thinks is unsafe.
You have a sign here for pedestrians and cyclists that says wait for gap. You also have a sign there that tells drivers to yield to pedestrians. So inherently, we're sort of set up for a conflict.
Cyclist and city council hopeful Bradford says street designs from the 1950s need to be modernized.
I think the infrastructure is failing everybody in that sense. I mean, it doesn't do any service to drivers, pedestrians, or cyclists. Right now, we know we're at kind of this critical moment where it's not working.
The cyclists here say they feel that firsthand and want change, not more memorials. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Toronto.